Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ramos Stories. Dan Ramos here. Are you guys having your breakfast? Coffee, latte, oat milk, matcha sandwich. I realize a lot of people are getting into matcha right now, putting matcha everywhere. And I personally think it's a little bit too matcha. Okay. Right now it is Tuesday, May 28th, 11:02 a.m. LA time. What's been happening in my life? Just forcing myself to do the video podcast for Ramos Stories. Thanks for tuning in. I want to talk about comedy memorabilia again. I love collecting stuff. This little item over here is important. I want to talk about comedy memorabilia. And today I have a Mad TV hat. Mad TV on Fox. R.I.P. Not the magazine. But I got this hat signed by the one and only Bobby Lee. Thank you very much, Bobby Lee of TigerBelly. Let's look over here. Let's look over here. Put him on there. Great. I met Bobby Lee back in 2016. At the time, I remember the day specifically. I was at CBS doing this diversity showcase, and I go in with 4 characters, okay? My first one was this KFC manager, a guy who runs a KFC. Second character is named Worm, where I put pantyhose over my head and I pretend to be a worm. And then 2 other characters. I go into the room, I say hello, and everyone's just on their phone looking, and I can see this guy just sitting right there looking at me. Okay. I say, hi everyone, my name is Dan Ramos, and I'm about to do my audition, and this guy, let's call him, well, his name is Rick. He goes at me, he's like, you're gonna play a restaurant manager. And I'm there, I'm like, what? What? He's like, you're gonna play a restaurant manager, right? And I'm like, how did you know? My mind starts melting. I run over, I grab my notebook, I flip over to the first page. My 4 characters, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one, KFC manager. And I'm like, how the hell did you know that I was gonna do this? He goes, I just have a feeling. I used to work at Mad TV. I used to write for Bobby. I'm like, oh, sweet, okay. That's really weird. Anyway, I do my audition. And now I'm at Studio City. So I'm like, what do I do? It's like around 5. So I take the bus all the way up to West Hollywood to hang out at the Comedy Store. Text my girlfriend at the time, hey, I'm at the store, come meet me. We go to the Comedy Store, and I'm sitting there, hanging out at the patio, and I see Bobby Lee and Chris D'Elia. This was 2016, so, he hasn't been canceled. He's talking to Chris D'Elia, Chris leaves, now Bobby's staring at me like this. And I'm like, oh my God. My girlfriend Carl at the time, she's, damn, he's looking at you. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm not gonna go up to him. I look over at him and he's like, Carla goes, I'm gonna go buy 2 beers for us. And by the time I come back, if you're not talking to him, we're through. And I'm like, okay. She goes buy the beers. I'm looking at Bobby and I'm like, fuck it. I walk over to Bobby. I'm like, he goes, hey, you a comic? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, you Filipino? I'm like, yeah, man, my girlfriend too. And he's like, yeah, my girlfriend's Filipino, Kalila. I'm like, yeah, man, I know, TigerBelly. And I go, Bobby, I was doing this diversity showcase up at CBS, and this guy named Rick Nahara told me that he used to work for you at Mad TV. He goes, Rick? Yeah. We called him Rick No Haha. I'm like, why? He's like, he wasn't writing any funny stuff, so we let him go after the 2nd week. I'm like, holy shoot. So my girlfriend comes back, we're all talking. She's showing pictures of her and Bobby back in New York, so we retake another one in LA. And Bobby goes, yeah, man, you're just gonna hang out here at the store, you know, just keep on hanging. I'm like, all right. 2 or 3 years later, I get a text from Kalila. Hey, Dan, you know, if you want to open up for Bobby, you could do it this weekend. I'm like losing it. The first night, we're driving there on a Saturday. And midway, me and my friend Cooper were just driving. And we get a text from Kalila. Hey, you're going to perform tomorrow. Today's canceled. And I'm like, what? We pull over to the corner and then we realize that Brody Stevens passed away. All right. So Brody passed away. Bobby wakes up. He's all distraught. He can't perform. So we perform the next day. I go there on a Sunday at the Brea Improv. The first show, Bobby didn't show up, so I just opened. I did my thing. I come back. Bobby headlines the first show, and then the second show, we're all in the green room, and he, you know, asks me, "Hey, man, did you have fun out there?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." You know, I for like a minute, I pretended that I was you, because you know the people in the back didn't know. And he's like, "Okay, don't do that." I'm like, "Okay." So I opened for Bobby. That was such a great experience. And then years later, he invites me to TigerBelly, episode 444. Now I'm like, okay, I'm losing it. You know, I'm about to meet my hero again in his lair. So I bring everything. I bring my props. I bring donuts from Winchell's, shout out. And then I'm wearing this hat, you know. Bobby puts me in a corner for like an hour and 20 minutes while Jason Chaney, Leslie Liao, Andrea Jin, and Andrew Lopez are just chatting it up, and I'm just there in the corner like, that's okay. When you let me in to play, that's when we start. So I'm there quiet for an hour and 20 minutes. So at one point throughout the show, Jason Chaney messes up.
I was gonna get it again.
Okay.
But I gave you a gift though.
Dan?
Bobby looks at me and he looks at Jason, he looks at me, and goes, Dan and Jason, switch.
Though.
Dan, Jason, switch seats.
Here we go. Cut 2. I'm walking in with my donuts, you know, and Gilbert was right. You know, I wanted a proper intro, so I go back into the portal potty.
Where you going?
Dan!
Dan! Dan!
Oh, he wants an intro!
Yeah. Wow.
Sit down,
I exit, you know, and I see Bobby there, and I'm like, I'm gonna sit beside him soon. I sit down wearing that Mad TV hat, and he's just looking at me, and I just go, hey,
You're gonna have to sign this hat. So this is like later.
Yeah.
yeah, the podcast went extremely well. He said a lot of nice things, and you know, stuff that I never expected to hear from, I guess, a hero, an idol.
I know. I want to say welcome to TigerBelly. I know you're a fan. Dude. We love you. We like you. No, you're interesting to me. No, you're really interesting to me. There's something about you, I swear to God, dude, there's something really odd about you that I relate to as well. And I'm just I haze you a little bit because I want you to get stronger. And I think that your stand-up is very more Rick Glassman-y, more experimental. You really are. But I think that, like more of a Kaufman kind of a thing. He does weird things on stage. I think he's important to comedy.
Wow.
Yeah,
I think you're very important to comedy.
Wow. Make it.
And yeah, don't cry. Please don't cry. It'll make me do this. But
I remember starting Second City back in Toronto in like 2004. And then watching Bobby Lee on Mad TV in the US. So I was up in Toronto and he's in LA, and I'm like, Hey man, we're kind of, yeah, I feel it. I feel it. So Bobby Lee, thank you so much for signing this. And I am going to sell this on eBay. All right. Love you, Bobby. For those who are just listening right now on Ramos Stories, I made an announcement for the past couple of months that I'm quitting stand-up comedy. Yeah, I'm just doing music now. That's what I tell people. And a couple of days ago, Morgan Spurlock passed away. R.I.P. He was the actor, director, producer of Super Size Me, a documentary where he ate McDonald's for 30 days straight. And yeah, he recently just died of cancer. Now, some may speculate that it was the burgers. I mean, 30 days. Yeah, it was McDonald's. So I ended up writing a song. And I'm going to sing it. No guitar, I'm just going to do it a cappella. Thank you for listening. We're going to come up with a beat, okay? Morgan Spurlock died last Thursday. In Super Size Me, he ate Mickey D's for 30 days straight. One more time. Morgan Spurlock died last Thursday. In Super Size Me, he ate Mickey D's for 30 days straight. And now that he's gone, no more Happy Meals. Morgan ran out of luck. He got the sad deal. 6, 7, 8. Morgan Spurlock died a couple of days. Could it be the Mickey D's? No way. Yes. A Big Mac a day will kill you in your sleep. 6, 7, 8. How do we really know if the beef's real meat? Ronald McDonald don't give a shit or a damn. 'Cause they sold over 1 billion burgers from the US to Japan. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people died just eating a Mickey D's burger. Which technically means that meat is indeed murder. 5, 6, 7, 8. Morgan Spurlock, will you come back in the form of a McDonald's chicken nugget? All right. I'm sorry for your loss, McDonald's and Morgan. Morgan, thank you for teaching us about the dangers of eating hamburgers for 30 days straight. Don't do that, okay? Don't. Where am I going? I'm actually just gonna stay here. Welcome back to Ramos Stories. So I did that song at Funky Universe, FU Variety Show. Thank you to Carla, who hosted it at the Glendale Room. Yeah, I did that song and people were laughing, you know. People were enjoying it. And then I did it at the Good Night last Monday on Memorial Day. Last Sunday on Memorial Day weekend. And that didn't go too well. So, we're one for one. I'm going to perform that song at Ego Death at Third Wheel, so come check it out. Third Wheel this Thursday. I'm going to perform that song. So I'm going to perform that song, Morgan Spurlock is Dead, this Thursday at Ego Death. Come check it out. You guys got pets? Yeah. I don't have any pets right now, but the ones I had when I was a kid, they all died. But I'm gonna give you a list of pets that I used to have. We owned 3 hamsters because I have like 2 older brothers. So there was Danster, Donster, and Ernestoster. 3 little hamsters in like one cage and just running around. And after the first week, I don't know which one of them, but they gave birth to like 7 little hamster babies. And we were like, oh my God, look at these little hamster babies. Let's just leave them here with their parents and, let them grow as a family. So all the 7 babies are there. The next day we wake up and I open the cage and I'm like, all right, there's only 2 babies. What? Where did the babies go? My mom's like, the big hamsters ate it. I'm like, what? Yeah, she ate the baby because you put the baby there, so you put the hamster there, and they're gonna eat them. I'm like, so what do we gotta do? It's like, you have to separate the hamsters. I'm like, okay. We separate the 2 little baby hamsters from, the family. Next day the babies die. So I'm like, okay. 3 big hamsters, 7 little baby hamster deaths. Okay. 2 weeks later, I don't know which one of them is a female or the male, but 5 more babies pop up. And I'm like, what? So we're like, okay, let's separate the babies from the parents, right? First couple of days was good. We see the babies there, the parents are there, we put the babies closer, and we feed them, we give them water, everything. And then a week later, all the babies die. So I'm like, okay, wait, so there's 3 babies and now 12 little baby hamster deaths. And we're still trying to figure out which one of these fat fucking hamsters is the mom or moms. Or maybe they're all moms. And then I don't know. And then we just got fed up with all the deaths, so my mom was just like, okay, Dan, let's just give it away. Give it away to our neighbor, Coco. So we had a Vietnamese neighbor named Coco. We just gave it to him. All 3 of them. Danster, Donster, and Ernestoster. Yeah. Sometimes I think I'm losing my mind. I'd be out on the street just walking, and all of a sudden I see this older guy that looks like me. You ever see that? And then I lock eyes with my future self, and I'm like, what the fuck? I go over to him, I'm like, dude, are we still gonna be riding the bus? And he goes, yeah. I know I shouldn't believe it, but I'm sure that was me. I felt it. We had the same hair, we had the same build. I think I'm at a point in my life right now where I could pull my pants up with belts and just, as a kid I never did this, right? As a kid you would just let the t-shirt go, but now I feel that, So what's been up in the month of May for Dan Ramos comedy? About 2 weeks ago, I went to Boston for the first time. Thank you to Nick at KISMET Improv for inviting me to do a show at Providence, Rhode Island. Never been to Boston. I remember when I was living in New York at the time, I feared Boston. There's something about Boston comics, you know, you got the ding ho. When I say ding ho, and if that doesn't hit you, you're not a comic, okay? Do your research, biatch. I go there to Boston, I walk around with my friend Kenny. Thank you, Kenny, for taking me in for the first 2 days. As soon as I landed there, we went to Pepe's Pizza, Little Peps, Little Peepee de Pipo. Had a New Haven style pizza. You guys ever had that? New Haven style pizza? No. It's just like a pizza and... All right, let's put a picture over here, shall we? Yeah. New Haven style pizza is just... You know, yeah. I wanted to find the bar in Boston where, you know that scene in Good Will Hunting? When he gets the number, how you like them apples? I also wanted to get into an educational battle with someone from the Ivy League, you know. This guy doesn't know anything about Renaissance painting. Are you a Rococo type of guy? Avant-garde piece of shit. You know, I wanted to talk art or battle art. My friend Kenny and I, we walked 11 miles all over Boston, you understand? I still got my Charlie card. We went to the MFA. Oh my God, it was so fun. Thank you so much. I saw this one couple, arty couple. Boyfriend was just sitting down looking at his girlfriend, and his girlfriend was just taking in the art. You ever see someone taking art? It's like someone taking in a stinky fart and they just love it. Art. This is how she was, okay? Let's say the lens is the art. Here we go. And I'm there in the corner laughing. Oh my God, she's coming. Her boyfriend's just there like, what the fuck? She's like, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, you art. Everywhere I go to Boston, I'm from Montreal, Canada, so whenever I walk around Boston, I'm like, oh, this looks like Montreal, but English. Oh, this looks like Montreal, but, you know, English. I bet you people that go to Montreal like, oh yeah, this is like New York, but safer and people don't die here and, you know, people don't get punched in the face a lot. Shit like that. Have you guys ever lived in New York? No? If you've never lived in New York, good luck. I lived in Bed-Stuy for 4 years, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. A couple of blocks away from Dave Chappelle's block party. That was in Clinton Hills, Crown Heights, something. Bed-Stuy was fun. First place I ever lived in was on Nostrand in Fulton. Adam and Marla took me in, thank you so much. Do you understand the chances of me getting a place there? I was the first one out of, 20 people to be interviewed that day. I was staying at my friend's house, Mo and Bo, at the time. Damn. You do crazy things to survive. I remember just being there so open and honest. I'm like, this is all the money I have. I don't have a job, I had nothing. But what I could guarantee you, it's just I'm a good person. They said, thank you, we'll let you know. I'm like, all right. And I think 2 days later, they immediately just called me. It's like, Dan, we wanted you from the start. I'm like, oh God. Rent was $525. I say Goodbye to Mo and Bo and start walking up Fulton, make a right on Nostrand, up Herkimer, boom. Yeah. Every Tuesday, every Tuesday, Adam would have these taco nights. Taco Tuesday nights. I'd be doing stand-up till like, I don't know, 11 or 12, come back home, and the place would still be bumping. Adam and his guests are drinking, or we're all watching some weird porno movie. No, it was a Drag Race with RuPaul, yeah. The porno stuff was during the holidays. So, thank you for taking me in, folks. Adam and Marla, I love you. I haven't forgotten about you. I remember Marla had a guest who stayed with us for about a week in the living room, which is whatever, it's fine. But this guest would, he would have these night terrors, you know? He'd just be there sleeping, and I'm there sleeping, you know, in our separate quarters. In the middle of the night, he would just yell out, "Why? Why did you do this to me?" I'm there in my bed, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Under the covers. He goes, "Why?" Next morning, I'm like, "Hi." He's like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "How are you in here?" Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn is weird, okay? I once got out of the subway at 2 a.m., walking by, and then I see a goat. I see the goat running past me. And I'm like, I'm not that drunk. And then I see 3 other cop cars slowly, woo, just like following the goat. And then behind him, this Muslim guy is like, he's like, my goat, my goat. I'm like, your goat, what? You goat out of here. I live in a heavily Muslim part of Bed-Stuy. There's a lot of mosques. And when I first, so after Adam and Marla, I moved away to Bedford, a couple blocks down. And I saw the place in the afternoon. I'm like, you know what? I like this place during the daytime. And I'm like, I'll buy it. Great. I move in a couple of weeks later, and then at 6 a.m. in the morning, I'm sleeping there. My windows are open. And on the first night, I just hear, no. I'm like, what the fuck? Did the guy from the other, did Marla's roommate just follow me? And they go, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck's happening? It's happening every single, 6 hours. And that's when I realized I was being an idiot and did not know the call to prayer. So for all my Muslim friends out there, I'm sorry. Catholic idiot here, okay? I remember bringing this chick over a month later, and I'm already up at 5:55, waiting for the first call to prayer, and I'm there just, pretending to sleep, and all of a sudden you hear, oh, 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 oh. She goes, what was that? And I'm like, what? No, you're just hearing voices in your mind. That's crazy. Let people know that there's a mosque around your area before they sleep in your house, and, freak out and never call you back so they won't fuck you anymore. Okay, good night.